Good morning, everybody. Great to see everyone here bright and early. That gives me a good anticipation that the latecomers will be filling up new rows and more seats, and so there's always a bit more room at the front. So if you're a bit bold and you're a bit brave, why don't you come forward? Bill would love to preach to people rather than empty seats, I'm sure. But welcome to Bill Newman, who's with us, I think, for the first time at Romaine Park. And welcome along. And if this is your first time this morning, we want to welcome you as well. Want to make sure you hang out for a cup of coffee afterwards and a chat. We'd love to get to know you. But we're going to open up with some worship, and I want to give maximum time to evangelist Bill Newman this morning. Our kids won't be going out for kids' church this morning. I think Crash is still on, so the younger ones perhaps. But we'll release them after a couple of songs. Why don't we stand, we'll sing.
Worship you, holiness.
I'd love to just take this opportunity to welcome everybody that is here with us this morning. We're so glad you are here. If you're a visitor, I would love to also let you know we have a communication card that hopefully you received in the visitor's pack as you entered. If you did not get one, then please on the way out of church grab one of our visitors' bags, a welcome pack, and we would love to just hear from you. If you are been part of the church now for a little while, but we haven't got your details, well, we would really love to hear from you. Love to get to know you. If you are part of our church, a regular member, but you've moved home, then of course feel free to give us the updated details via that communication card. Any prayer requests, any needs, these things are there available in that communication card. Welcome this morning to Evangelist Bill Newman. I know I said that at the very start, but if you are here and you just joined us, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here to hear from Bill Newman, and we've had a great couple of nights, the youth on a Friday night, last night, Families Night, and I want to really encourage everyone, don't just do this morning, why not go to Camp Clayton tonight? It's been fantastic. And that building, there's still room, so come along and bring someone with you, because that's empty chairs do not get saved. Have you ever noticed that? Is it just me? No, I think we've all noticed it, haven't we? But I'd love to encourage you to reach out to one of your friends. We have learned over the last few years that when you invite someone, they come. People are open. They just don't know what they're missing. Tell them how good it is. If you haven't been, just tell them in anticipation. I was about to say, well, just lie, but no, just tell them in anticipation how good it'll be. And let's fill that room tonight over there starting at 6 p.m. It'd be a fantastic night. Our youth on Friday night, or our youth, junior youth actually today are doing minute-to-minute games, and they're going to have a lot of fun. That's grades 5 and 6. They'll be over in our Life Development Centre over there. They have a great time. Regular youth, year 7 to year 12, will be on again this Friday. They're watching a Narnia movie. On Saturday, they're going to Youth Alive. So they're having a busy couple of weeks, these guys. Thank you to our leaders who do such great work. I appreciate all you're doing and all the way you help bring young people to Jesus. You know, youth group has been growing. I've been watching as I've been away. By the way, I've been away from that, so I'm glad to be back. I should say that. Thank you. I will tell you a couple of little stories this morning, but I'll hold most of my stories for Mission Sunday, the end of the month, when I'll tell more in detail. I want us to maximise the time for Bill this morning. But yeah, Youth Alive is on Saturday, so you need to go. You don't want to miss it. In fact, I might even go along. So good, and I'm not too bothered. I'm not welcome. I've got a personal invitation from the Youth Alive guys to say, come, because you're a senior pastor, so I'll be going along as well. You may have heard via communication, we have the WEC team coming to us in September. Have you heard this? Have you read this? And we're looking for people that might be willing to bill it, to put them up for 2 weeks. They're coming to a mission, practical experience for their studies. They are over in over in Launceston, where they study, but they're coming across. They're going to serve in our community, help with youth, help with Youth Alpha, do all kinds of things, go into schools if we can. We'll make them very, very busy. They'll preach on a Sunday, but we want to be able to host them. So if you have capability of hosting one or two, a male or females, please let Jared know. You can tell Barb or myself as well, and we'll pass that information through. Cool. All right, so let me also give you another heads up, because our books are here. Have you heard about these books? Starting next week, we're going to do the Bill Elef Essential Presence. Bill Elef is a Baptist pastor from Southern Baptist over in Arkansas, whose church has had revival. He was part of the Asbury revival that just went on. He was part of a revival that happened back in the 70s. Had a church revival in 2011 that lasted 10 weeks. He writes with this passion for the presence of God. This earnest desire to have God's presence a reality in our lives. And as a church, this is a 40-day study. We have, I don't know how many books left, but we have a number of these books left. And I would encourage you to buy one. I think they're $15 or $18. Just have to see Barb for one of them. A daily reading for 40 days. You can also get it on your devices, on Kindle. So it is available that way, but I would really love to encourage you. We'll be preaching around this series for the next 6 weeks. And it will just be something we as a church do, just to really focus in on the heart of God for us as individuals and for us as a church. So I'd love to encourage you. If you're not part of our church normally, and you want to grab one of those books, you're welcome to it. You're welcome to grab one. And you can always watch us online as well for what we preach on those Sundays as well. So please don't leave them for too long in the office, because we're going to start reading these next week. Not Monday, but the Monday week. Excellent. 2 stories quickly about my time away. I'll tell you one about Kenya, and I'll tell you one about Zambia. Is that cool? Yeah? So I have a bit of a strange voice. Can you tell? I preached 50 times in 4 weeks. My voice is absolutely hammered. I don't know how my interpreters did it, but they kept up with me, and that was fantastic. But we preached at a mass gospel crusade in the no man's land between Kenya and Tanzania. So there is this space of land that is about 80 metres wide and just runs the whole length of the border. And we would have churches, 100 churches, 70 churches from Kenya and 40 churches, 110 churches from Tanzania that were working with us in this great gospel crusade. 8 evangelists from all over the world, 2 from Tanzania, 3 from America, 1 from Germany and 2 from Australia. And we were working hard, preaching the gospel in schools, preaching in the gospel crusade. And in 4 weeks, 2 weeks, sorry, I was away for 4 weeks. In 2 weeks we saw 42,000 decisions for Christ. So praise God for that. That's in the schools, that's in the gospel crusade, all combined. I then had the opportunity to go across to Zambia. I think I had to jump over one country to get to Zambia, which is where one of our church major missions is. Many of you have been there to Cantalomba, near Ndola, in Zambia. Hands up if you've been there. Look at that. Hands up if you want to go there. Oh, good. They've got more hands. That's awesome. Fantastic. We'll take Johnny as well. Kara, you can come. You'll have to bring your Kara. No, not your birthday today. I love you, Johnny. Well, it's nice to see you. It's great to be back. So, in Zambia, our church have had a mission there for 19 years. Many of you have been, many of you have seen it. You've seen photos before. We have a feeding program for widows and orphans. It was absolutely amazing. We did a mini crusade there, just with the one church that we're going to plant with Pastor Malinga, Lina's husband. And the first night, I get there and the crowd swells from 300 to about 700. Just while we're singing and dancing. Had this incredible music team that came in. They did a great job. Gabby, I think the guy's name was. What a performer. I drew the crowds, and then I preached, and the crowds even grew more. They were anticipating the visit of the Zungu, the white fella. They were very, very happy to have me there. And really, because the church has invested so heavily in this community, they were ready to hear what we had to say and preach the gospel. The next night there was about 1,000 people, and I have to tell you, I took 3,100 portions of gospel literature. Well, we gave out that much, and we don't know how many of those got 1, 2, or none. Some of them might have taken more than one. They were in that kind of habit where they like to take one. But I really cannot quantify how many salvations, how many decisions for Christ there were in those meetings, because every gospel portion of literature and follow-up material we had was exhausted, taken, and we just have to trust that Malinga and other pastors in that region can do the work that we can't do from here. But please keep praying for Zambia. We reaped that week the seed that you have sown and the prayers that you have prayed over 19 years. Maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000 decisions for Christ. So I think we should probably just give God a big hand of praise. What do you reckon? Because the truth is all the glory belongs to you, doesn't it? Amen? Well, children, we are going to collect now, as the young kids go out to creche, we're going to collect an offering for Evangelist Bill Newman. He has come down here to our region, and he's come along to our church without asking for any money. And I just want us to honour him by taking up a love offering. We've let you know that this will be coming. So instead of our Thanksgiving box this week, we're just collecting in our box for the love offering for Evangelist Bill Newman. If you didn't bring cash with you and you want to give, feel free to give online. Just write down Bill. Okay, just write down Bill Newman on the notes, and we'll ensure that every cent that you give for Bill Newman is passed to Bill Newman. Following that, when the children go, we'll collect our regular tithes and offerings, and then we won't be doing communion today because, again, we'll just come out to worship and then provide maximum time for Bill Newman to share the word of God with us this morning. Who's glad to be here this morning? My hand is raised because I've been away for 4 weeks, but I'm really glad to be back. Come on, children, come on, adults that want to bring the offering out, and then the young kids can go out to creche, and then we'll come back to worship. And then I'll ask the ushers to pass around the buckets for our regular offering.